It happened last year when one of my favorite cigar box guitars was stolen. It was this guitar pictured right here. It was my number 37, made on August 26th, 2018. Now, was there anything special about that guitar? Absolutely not. I'm not really a big fan of red guitars anyway. But it was just something about this guitar, the tone of that guitar, the way it sounded, that I just liked it, and I kept it for myself. And it's gone. If you've been watching this channel for a while, that guitar may look familiar to you. I played it in many lesson videos and just playing videos in general. Like I said, the guitar wasn't fancy at all. It had a piezo pickup in the guitar. There was no back angle. A few years ago I did do a video called "This Cigar Box Guitar Sucks No More." You can look that up on my channel, where I took that guitar and remodified it and gave it a back angle, and I gave it some string retention down there on the headstock. So I did modify it so it played a lot better. So because I got it to play a lot better when it was stolen, I missed it even more. Now, the guitar was stolen out of this toolbox, which was in the back of my truck. I don't even know where I was at when the guitar was stolen. Grocery store, Walmart, who knows? I know it wasn't here. It was sometime while we were out and about, I guess. Now, I didn't keep anything very expensive in that toolbox. A couple camping chairs that you fold up and put in a little bag, some jumper cables of that guitar, and that's about it. And before anybody asks, no, it was not locked. And why wasn't it locked? Well, because I never had a key to it. So I thought in this video what I am going to do is try to recreate that guitar as close to original as possible. And that includes the modifications I did to it with the back angle and the other headstock modifications. So what I have done is this. I have searched online and found the exact box right here. This Fiesta Ray 1884 box in pretty good condition right there. And I'm going to recreate that guitar. Now, I haven't used a piece of poplar for a neck in years and years. So what I have done to recreate this guitar, I did go buy a 4-foot piece of poplar right here that I'm going to use for the neck for this guitar. Now, something else I haven't done in years is to make a cigar box guitar with a complete through the body neck design. So I have to remember how I do that. So what I'm going to do first is to prep this box for that neck. The first thing I'm going to do is take this label off here. That's kind of good. It came off very easy. And this other piece, this one didn't come off too easy. Now, I'm not going to worry about the finish here because this box was painted red. So I'm not going to worry about scuffing it up some because it will be covered with paint. Now, what I'm going to do first here is put a piece of tape here and a piece of tape on the back of the box top and locate the middle of the box. So I'm going to use this centering ruler right here from cbgiddy.com, and we're going to find the center. Okay, center of the box and center of the box right there. As I was marking the box to cut the neck slots out, the top of the box came apart a little bit because, well, it's old. So I'm going to have to do a little repair on the box, so I'm gluing it all back together so I can continue with that. While that box repair is drying, what I'm going to do is thin the neck down here for the headstock. Now, this guitar did not have a slanted headstock, so I'm just going to thin that down on the bandsaw. Also, the headstock had an angle cut at the end. I don't know if you could see that in my phone, but I'm going to do that as well. There you go, so you can see it. Which is going to be right here on the end. And that looks like a 45-degree angle, so that's what I'm going to cut right here. Looks good. All I'm going to do now is just clean that up with the sander. Let me show you where I'm at right now with the box here. I do have the heel running through the box, measured. I have this little piece of oak glued up here. I will cut this off though and then sand all that down. Let's check out the inside. I have some little blocks here and here. This is where I will have a strap button screwed in there and screwed in here. I do have blocks in there underneath the heel, and you can see that there will be a back angle on the neck because the back block is a little higher than the front block, and you can see the little angle there. So that's where I'm at right now with the box. You can see where I repaired it over here. It's still drying. The whole piece came off both sides. So I had to fix that, and I will sand that down a little bit. You won't be able to see that at all because that's going to be painted like I said. But that's where I'm at so far. Well, the sound holes look like that, so I do have it marked right here and here to drill the sound holes. Now I do believe I used this hole saw right here, and this is what we're going to use to drill these two sound holes. Here's what the neck looks like inside the box. I did have to put this little piece of brace wood right here because the top of this lid was had a little bow in it, so this kind of straightened it out right there. And if you remember, this piece was on the end here. I cut that off and shaped that a little bit, and that's how the neck is going to fit in the box. So what I'm going to do now is take the neck outside and run the router from here to here and shape the neck. That router was using a 1/2 inch round over bit. Welcome to the following day. Well, here is the neck. I just did the router. So I'm just going to clean that up with the orbital sander, and it'll be time to put on the fretboard. Now when I first built this guitar in 2018, I put the output jack right here, right over that 1884 right there. You'll see in the picture here. But then when I modified it, I did add a volume knob, so I did put a hole there for the volume knob. But I am going to move the output jack to the back instead of the front. And that's the only change I'm going to make to the box. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray paint it red. An old pizza box can come in pretty darn handy. Well, the box came out pretty nice. Get the tape off. That's good. Now what I'm going to do also is I'm just going to paint where the sound holes are. I'm just going to paint this black in here. That's what I usually do. Right under the sound hole. I like to have the inside of the cigar box nice and dark. That's good. Now if you look at the original in this picture right here, you can see for the nut I used a little screw. In this one here, I've chose to upgrade that as well because I just think it stays in tune better and the action's a little better. I went with a 0 fret and a bone nut spacer. Now I did do a video on how I do this, the 0 fret with the spacer. I'll leave a link to that video down in the video description. It's called How to Use a 0 Fret. Well, I got this neck almost finished. I did do solder burns for the dot markers here and solder burns for the side dot markers. I did drill the holes back here for the strings, and these holes are 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to show you how I use these little rivets to go in these holes so I don't tear up the wood with my strings. I got this little box of assorted rivets here. They're all a 1/8 of an inch, but they're some are longer, some are shorter. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you how I separate the little rivet from the little stem there. Now this here is just a little piece of steel right there that I used to bang this on. I take the rivet and I hold it with a pair of needle nose pliers, and I just hold it like that, and then I hit it like that to pull the little stem out. So you're ended up with this little piece right there, which I'm going to use in these little holes right here. What I do is I take a little bit of this super glue gel stuff right here, and I put a little bit right on the underside of the little rivet end here, just like that. And then I'm just going to put it in the hole and pound it down in there. Really don't have to pound it, it pretty much just goes right in. This way, when the string goes through there and out the other side, it doesn't tear up the wood at all. Awesome. Now, just as the original, I will be using these open gear tuners right here from CBGitty.com. These are pretty cool looking. Matter of fact, these just came in the mail about an hour ago, so that's what we're going to put on there. This is also a great time to mention, if you need parts for your next cigar box guitar build, make sure you check out the CB Gitty affiliate link down in the description. It looks like this right here. If you use that link and promo code Southern Fire, you'll save 10% off your order. And for all of you who have used that CB Gitty link, I want to say thank you very much. It helps support this channel. And also, thank you very much to CBGitty.com. First, we're going to add these shiny little bushings right here. Fancy. Well, I just wired up this piezo pickup to this output jack and this 250K potentiometer that's going to go right here for my volume knob. Now, I always like to wire up all my pickups and everything first before I put them into the box. I just find that easier. So now we're going to install all these components into the cigar box guitar. I've also installed the neck into the guitar with these 4 little screws here with these finishing washers. Now right here where you see this line right there, that is where the bridge is going to go on the other side, of course. So that is where my piezo pickup is going to be hot glued. Okay, I did put the potentiometer in its place right there, and the piezo is going to go right here. So let me go ahead and put some glue right there. It's very hot, by the way. So we're going to put some glue over the top. Like that. Okay, that's what that looks like. The piezo going to the potentiometer here, and then to the output jack, which is going to go right in that hole right there. Okay, I'm going to let you take a peek at the inside here before I button it up. Now also, if you're just using a piezo pickup and a guitar, you do not have to worry about grounding your guitar strings. It doesn't really need a ground. That's usually just for magnetic pickups. So this is going to be closed just like that. And this thing is ready to put strings on. So I think I'm going to string this up and tune it up, and then I'll be back and let you hear what it sounds like. Well, I have the replica of the stolen guitar completely finished, and this is how it looks. I think it came out beautiful. Now, even though it's not an exact replica, it's pretty darn close with a few modifications, but I think they're modifications for the better. Check that out. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Now, something I want to point out down here at the headstock, I was going to add one of these little string retainers right here that would go here and hold the strings down to give you a nice break angle on the strings. But what I did instead was I just wound a whole bunch of string onto the peg, and it kind of gave it a nice angle without it. So right now I'm just going to keep it like that. I think it looks good, it plays good, and sounds good. Now I'm going to let you see what they look like side by side. Now here is the old one, or the stolen one, right here, and here is the new one. I mean, I think the new one came out pretty darn close. I mean, the colors are a little off, but I couldn't help that. But what I'd really like to know is, how do you think it came out? I'd love to know. Drop it down there in the comments. Now, this guitar is on a 25-inch scale length. I do have it tuned to an open E, and let's see how it sounds like acoustically. I think it sounds great acoustically. Now let's try it through my Fender Champion 20 amp down here with a clean channel, a little bit of reverb. Not bad. I think this thing came out beautiful, man. I really, really, really like it. Like the way it sounds, like the way it plays. Oh yeah. Cool. Well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and do leave a comment. From the backwoods, my name's Michael, and I'll see you in the next one. When the rain starts a falling, it's gonna rain all night long. When the rain starts a falling,